Hello, everyone, and welcome to the January 2022 edition of Epic LCS Mock Drafting. This is something we started doing as the Oracle's Elixir Discord community during the most recent off-season, and it kind of grew and developed into a bit of a life of its own, and now it's something that we have a lot of fun with. So the core concept of what we're doing here is I have 10 members of the community on a call with me, and they're going to be playing, and we'll meet them in a moment and let them introduce themselves. But what they're going to be doing is building LCS teams with kind of a fantasy draft kind of style, where they're basically they each have a team. They're drafting in a modified snake order, but they also each have a randomized budget, and all the different players have been gathered into different tiers of roughly kind of a mix between what we might expect them to cost relative to one another, not actual real world salaries. It's on a sort of real world scale, but it's not actually going to reflect their actual salaries, but somewhere between what they might actually cost and kind of how good they are as a player to kind of balance out the game for the sake of this exercise. And they're going to get their salaries, their budgets. They're going to draft this out. They're allowed to make trades along the way. There may be some twists. There may not. We'll have to see. And then at the end of it all, you guys get to vote and see who did the best job given the resources they had. Before we jump in and kind of get into any more specific rules or questions you guys have, why don't we go through and introduce the people who are going to be playing today. So the first up, member Brightlight, if you want to say hi, if you want to say where you're from.
All right. Hello, stream. My name is Brightlight. I'm from North Carolina, and I am the returning LCS Mock Draft champion.
Ooh. Next up, we have Ichigo.
Hi, chat. I'm Ichigo. I'm also returning, but I'm returning from 6th place from the last game.
Actually, I'm going to backtrack one moment here. While we're doing this, if you guys can think of the team names you want to use, and I'll just type them in, because otherwise we're all doing it later. So if you guys have team names yet, or just say it as you go in. Or you can also type it in the mock draft channel in the server. And
You already know mine, Tim.
C.E. Barnett, next to introduce himself.
Yeah, I'm Caleb. I'm from West Virginia, and I'm staying up too late for when my daughter wakes me up inevitably in the middle of the night.
Been there. CJ, want to say hi?
Hi, I'm CJ or Caleb, also from West Virginia. And I've always been pretty interested in fantasy on fantasy side of sports. So when I liked League, I always wondered if there was like a fantasy side to it. So I'm glad I found this.
Yeah, this is fantasy elements for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's fun from that perspective, definitely. Harupia, you want to say hello?
Hi, I'm Harupia. I'm from South Padre Island, Texas. And I've been playing League for way too long and an ELO with not high enough to show for it.
Isn't that all of us on different levels? Next we have Derp.
Howdy. I'm Derp. I've done a few of these drafts as well. Definitely not a returning champion, but have a lot of fun. From the recently snowed in northern South Carolina.
Northern South Carolina.
Happen very often. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Barry, you want to say hi?
Hi, I'm Barry. I'm also from North Carolina, and I am a senior in high school. So the East Coast has got to bring this one home.
Great. Mazone?
Hello, my name is Ralph. I'm from Montreal, Canada, and I'm looking to take some scalps.
Okay, I was about to say you're going to get bonus budget for being from Canada, and then you lost it right there. Too violent. Neo-Gnostic.
Hi, I'm Jesse, also known as Gnostic, living in Georgia. Let's get it.
Cool. And then finally, a red kobold.
Hello, I am from the Monastery of Meech. Go Meech. # Meech for LCS.
Uh-huh. So, I'm still filling in a few team names, but I'm going to switch over to viewing the spreadsheet now, because what we're going to do next is we're going to roll for pick order, and we're going to roll for budget. Sorry, I shouldn't say salary. I should say budget, of course. Before we reveal those roles, and since we're still getting some team names in, and remember, folks, just type it in the mock draft channel in the Discord server. Yes, I gotta paste that better. There we go. I'll go over the rules in a little bit more detail. So the pick orders are just rolled or randomized. I'm rolling a number between 1 and 1,000, and then just putting it in order. The budget is, you have a base budget of $750,000. We roll a 1 to 10 randomizer 3 times, and for every 1 point of 1 you get an extra 100,000 budget. So anywhere from 300,000 to 3 million more on top of your 750. But usually it ends up somewhere around like 1.9, 2.1 million, somewhere in that is kind of an average. The final roster, you're going to draft 6 players. So 5 starters and 1 sub or 1 prospect. The total salaries of all of them must be equal or less than your total budget. The way the salaries work is S tier players cost you $850,000, A tier players cost you $500,000, B tier cost you $250,000, C tier $125,000, and D tier $75,000. You can trade at any time. You can trade your overall pick order with another player. You can give them money in exchange for moving picks. You can trade a pick for a pick plus money for another pick, whatever it is. You can also trade a player for a pick. But at the end of the day, you must have six players on your team. You can also only field a roster with a maximum of 2 imports. The full player list is in the full player lists tab. And you can see we've got them sorted out by tiers and also alphabetically. And remember, if you've got strong opinions about a player and what tier they're in, feel free to draft accordingly if you think they're underrated, or avoid them if you think they're overrated. This is not meant to be analytical content that is based around what tiers the players are in. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
As both Bwippo and Fudge have now officially played a couple of games in their designated role swapped role, mid for Fudge, top for Bwippo, are we still allowed to flex them, or are those locked in now?
I will leave that to the group to decide how they feel about it. Does anybody feel very strongly? Because when we've played this in the past, we allowed those 2 players to be flexed.
Yeah, sure, let them flex.
I think Bwippo shouldn't be flexed because I don't think he likes jungle that much. I think you should consider what the player would actually.
You're taking a moral position in that you should not send this player jungle.
I'm okay with either one. If I had to lean one way, I would kind of lean towards not letting them flex anymore. But if a majority of people want them to flex, I can be okay with that.
Agree with Bwippo not flexing because he might just take mid-season off and complain for mental.
And I run Jojo Pyun ADC. He seems to like it, if that's the concern.
There were rumors of Jensen going 80 carry as well. Can we flex Jensen to 80 carry?
No.
For simplicity's sake, it might be best to just leave them where they are.
Yeah.
Can we flex Doxa though?
Sorry, flex who?
Doxa.
Doxa?
He's playing ADC now, yeah.
Do you think that's going to affect the draft?
No, you're just joking around.
I will only draft Doxa if he's an ADC.
I think let's turn the flexes off for these guys.
I think that's fair.
I think
because we can't choose to flex anyone else, and they've both played top and mid respectively.
Okay.
Yeah, Fudge mid and top is too much. It's too OP.
By the way, I'm appreciating the copy paste spam in Twitch chat. I appreciate some of them more than others, but I appreciate them.
Nobody helped mine out. I'm sad. So lonely.
I had a question. So I didn't quite hear all the way. So we have to be at minimum our budget, or can't go over our budget?
You can't go over your budget.
But we can use any amount below the budget.
Yep.
Okay.
So if it seems like you're going to have more money than you need to get the players you want, feel free to use that money to try to move up in pick order or something like that.
Oh, is there open trading?
Yeah, you can trade with any of the other players.
I see. Okay.
Okay, so what I've got in these cells here is I've got some like just white text with randomized here, so I'm going to make it roll a couple of times, and then I'm going to reveal. And I've got the names are underneath the cells here, so I hope in the video it's readable and that it's not too small, but I might want to zoom in a touch if I can without messing stuff up. I don't know. I'm not going to mess with it too much. Okay, so I will now paste the values. Just make sure I do this exactly right. And now reveal. All right, Bright Light, you have a $2.25 million budget. Ichigo, 2.55. CE Barnett has 1.95. CJ, 2.15. Harupia, 2.15. Some very... I don't see anything really low in here. Derp has 2.25. Barry has 2.45. And now we get a couple of big ones. Mazone got 2.85 million. Neognostic, 2.95. And a Red Kobold, 1.95.
So I'm the budget team? I hope so.
The lowest budgets here belong to C.E. Barnett and a Red Kobold, or should I say Team Niski and Meech for LCS. And those are not especially low budgets. We've seen like 1.3 million, I think, right? 1.4 even? Somewhere in that range?
We had one games like 1 million, I remember, because I was the one.
Yeah, it seems remarkably high overall.
Yeah, these are pretty high budgets.
Good year for the LCS, I guess.
Yeah.
In terms of pick orders, Harupia will be drafting first, then Neognostic, then a Red Kobold, then Ichigo, Barry, Caleb, Bright Light, Derp, Mazone, and finally CJ. And remember, this is it's a modified snake. Okay, so we're going to go pick order 1 through 10, so left to right. Then we're going to go right to left twice. So rounds 2 and 3 are both 10 to 1. Then it goes left to right, right to left, left to right, if you haven't done this before. So I'm going to allow you guys to discuss if any of you want to buy into a different place in the pick order while I start to transfer these in. Otherwise, I have to do a lot of juggling afterwards. No, nobody feels like they need to move.
I'm doing calculations real quick.
Hold up, yeah.
I wouldn't mind moving up in the draft.
Are these permanent moves or temporary moves for the first round, or is it free reign?
Both are options. You can offer someone money to change overall pick order with them. You can also trade individual picks. But for the sake of cleanliness, it's nice to, if anybody's going to do an overall pick order trade, it's nice to get that out of the way first.
I'm willing to sell my first place spot for the right amount.
How much is the right amount?
Entertain me with potential numbers.
Are you number 1 overall?
I am number 1.
I will give you $300,000 for it.
Dang.
You said 300?
300,000. Yep.
Hold on, I don't know you by name yet.
Top of the list.
Top of the list? Can you make that 350?
Dang, 350 to go up 2 spots? That's pretty steep.
True, but think about it. He can always just take all of the S tiers the first hit, which tier he wants.
Well, no, because it's reverse snake. So, person with 10 will get first pick next round.
But not at first pick.
Are you gonna land anywhere here?
Is the real power move here.
I can do 325.
That's the best pick.
I'll do 325. I'll agree with that. I'll shake my digital hand long screen.
Okay, so what I want to see and what helps with tracking trades is if at least one of you types up the trade in the Discord channel. So what I have is, because I need to know who's paying what to whom. So I believe it is a Red Kobold paying 325,000 to Harupia.
Is it a pick swap or is it a full trade? Like 325k for the pick by itself?
Overall pick order, I believe, right?
Yes, overall pick order.
Okay.
Was it 350 or 325? I think it's 325.
Oh, sorry, 325. Yeah, I misspelled. My
Wait.
brain is just slow.
Okay, yeah, you are 3.
CJ, I'll give you 300k to move down to 10. I'm at 5 right now.
I think I'm gonna stay in 10.
That's fair. I respect
I like double picking. It's nice.
It's very nice.
It's exactly what I wanted, actually.
Okay, anything else for now?
If anybody below me, if anybody 8 through 10, well, obviously not you, CJ, wants 300k, I'll swap with you.
What pick are you?
I'm 5.
Let me think. I'm currently pick 9.
I'll bump it to 330 for you if you want. For 9.
Just for the, I'll tell you now, it's probably better to do it in increments of 25k, so the math works out.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
I'll do 325.
All the salary tiers go in 25 or 50k increments, so.
Yeah, my bad.
I see our LCS mock draft journalist is at it again in the chat.
What do we got? Ooh, apparently Team Little Critters is in talks with the D-tier player for their starting lineup. Unconfirmed, but a possibility. Fascinating. We'll have to see whether that comes to fruition or whether it's just a bad leak. A manipulation of the market. So we don't have any other trades coming in right now. It sounded like
9 for now, yeah.
We're backing out of that deal, which means I'll finish transferring these in, and we should be able to get properly rolling soon. Finally.
Are we doing any twist this round?
Are we doing a twist this time? That is a great question. Very, very good and great question.
Gotta have the twists. They helped me so much last time.
How many people are watching right now, approximately? Where are my stream stats?
Guys, if the viewer count goes up, the twists will come.
We should get a chat vote on the twist. Wait a minute.
Checking on something here. Okay. So...
Someone else traded, right? Make sure you guys post that in the mock draft chat for Tim.
Was there a second trade? There was another one being negotiated, but I think it fell through.
Okay.
Sadly.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We are gonna run a poll that is based on the team names you guys have selected. And I want the viewers on Twitch right now to look at all these team names. Hopefully you can read them okay. And you're going to be... do we get a... Is there a 10 options? I should have checked this completely. Start a poll. There we go.
Yo, is that legendary support Mystique West?
Yeah. Mystiques is in the chat, having a conversation with some random called DV9R. So that's fun. So I'm setting up this poll, and what we're going to do is, for every vote you get in the poll of which team name the Twitch chat likes most, you're going to get an extra $5,000. So give me a moment while I type these in.
AKA, who's rebranding after this is done?
And unfortunately, I might only be able to run a poll with 5 options. So we might have to run the poll twice. In which case, I'm going to have to randomize who's included in each one. No, it'll just be 1 through 5 and then 6 through 10. So this is a little awkward, but we're going to run the poll for 1 minute. And yeah, every vote you get in the poll. Since I'm running it twice, which means that we're going to have twice as many votes, I'm going to give you 2,500 per vote. All right. Here we go. So poll is now open for the first group.
Make sure to go vote for yourself, guys.
All right, looks like air traffic controller is doing pretty well. Now, hopefully, I need Twitch chat to... Everybody needs to vote in this, because this needs to be enough money that it can possibly affect who they're going to pick up. And if not enough people vote, I'm going to have to further modify the twist, which is no fun. Then I'm thinking on the fly. Ooh, sources are reporting, the mock draft report is reporting that should another team not sign closer, Team America 9 will be looking to pick them up for the first round. So, interesting closer for the first round. Looks like other reports I may have missed. In an interview with Team Air Traffic Controllers, they've revealed that their game plan seems to be targeting gems that have been overlooked with a strong core. And the other teams are just G2s waiting to happen. All right. Air Traffic Controllers got 15 votes. I'm just going to make a little... Oh, I didn't paste the budget in from before. Lame. What's wrong with me? So, we're going to add 15 times 2,500. Not minus. What's wrong with me?
You got -$dollars from winning the poll.
But Hopium also got 13 votes. Sorry, was that the wrong person? I put that in the wrong place.
Yeah, you used the budget for Meech.
Sure did. Okay, let me quickly... The pacing on this show is so good, right? You might as well, you can use this time to trade.
It's alright, this will all be cut out.
You think I'm going to edit it?
Definitely. This is the top tier content, right?
Full production values.
Gonna get some graphic art in there.
I'll have you know, I have my team logo ready to go.
Whoa, you have a logo?
Do you actually? That's sick.
That is sick.
I knew you pasted in the chat first.
Wait. Yeah, if you do that, then I'll see if I can find a way to put it on screen too, or at least link people to it. Okay, now we've got our base budgets in, finally. So, 15 votes here. Hopium got... Where's Hopium? 13 votes is just pretty good. America 9 got 7 votes. Meech for LCS 4 votes. And NA greater than EU 4 votes. So now, new poll. The next ones are Team Niski, Lil Critters, Team Less, Sag, Great White North, and 100 Ws. Here we go. Vote. The only team that has a logo is one that you've already voted for, so let me see if I can. What's this gonna do? There we go. Look at that. Team air traffic controllers. Beautiful. What's gonna happen now if I Control W that? Perfect. It worked the way I hoped it would. So the poll is running. This is a good question from the chat about whether or not we even have General Sniper in the player pool. We do not, and he should be in as a D tier player. So I'm going to add him real quick. I don't think anybody would have an issue with that. I'll just call him, yeah, we'll call him General Sniper. He's too wide for my column, but I don't care enough at this point. Ooh, look at those vote counts.
Yeah, we got crushed.
Did somebody...
I think there's more votes than people.
Did somebody use a bunch of channel points or something?
Yeah, I think that happened.
It's pay to win. It's pay to win.
Who's got the money?
I know nobody spent bits for it. I would have gotten an alert. But apparently Ogino won.
Somebody
scared.
150
Guy Oza contributed 150 bits.
You paid real life money.
Also, there happens to be a rumor coming out that Team Less is planning on using the moniker Numerous Americans with their draft plan. We'll have to keep our eyes out for that. Well, let's input these poll results. So Team Niski gets a whole bunch of money. 95K added onto the budget. That's pretty meaningful.
I want to mention one thing.
Bright Light gets...
That's an entire D tier player.
Yeah.
I don't think General Sniper is old enough to play Academy or...
That's a good point. Sniper is 15, so no, he shouldn't be in. Thank you for catching that. He is not eligible for this after.
What? Maggie?
We're going to say. I'll think about it more, and maybe in the future we'll say he can be brought in, but he can't be used in your starting roster. But for now, I'm not sure. Great White North got 2 votes. Boo. I don't know why people aren't supporting Great White North, but I am. And 100 W's. 6. Yeah.
Can you take away 7,500 so I have a clean number? I'm going to end up with like $500 left, and I'm going to go crazy.
No, you can use that
just use it on like team meals.
Oh, true. You're right.
Okay. So now that your budgets have all been slightly modified, we're ready to get going here. Finally. I don't know why somebody's been dragging their heels on getting this properly started. But, yeah, so that means that number 1 pick goes to a Red Kobold who paid $325K to move up into pick order 1. And I personally, as you think about this pick, I'm very fascinated to see, now that the season's underway, how the approaches may have changed to some of the players. Because I haven't changed the tiers of any of the players compared to what we were using all offseason. But maybe the perceptions have shifted. So let's see. A Red Kobold, you are on the clock with pick number 1 for Team Meech for LCS.
I'm just going to draft closer.
We did have a report about closer. And,
I'm noticing that... Oh, sorry. I'll let you finish.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm noticing that Meech is not currently available, which may hurt Meech for LCSs.
If you're going to go down into, like, the amateur realm, you can pitch players and I may or may not say yes to them. So the next pick belongs to Team Hopium.
I thought he was great when I rooted against him, and I think he's even better now that I can root for him. I'm going to pick up Vulcan.
Vulcan. We have a Cloud9 anti-fan here, I guess.
Listen, back in those days, I was a Liquid fan. There's a bit of tension.
So apparently, while Harupia gets prepared for her first pick, Closer was in talks with numerous teams, including America 9, according to our stalwart reporter. But with the excellent branding plan, Meech for LCS managed to secure the jungler. So, branding matters. I think that's the theme of this draft so far. Branding and marketing, big deal. And there's also sources reporting that Team Air Traffic Controllers is planning to pick up Spica, but I don't know. Do you trust the leaks? Do you trust the Rivered Bomb? We're about to find out.
Well, if it is my turn?
Yep.
It is your turn.
Oh, well, those bombs are on point. Yeah, I'm going to pick up Spica.
The S tier player coming in after 2 A tiers to kick it off. All right. Pick 4 of the draft. Oh, sorry, and I should be... Can't remember. Was I typing the names in here before or just deleting them as we went?
Oh, I think the names were there, yeah.
Last time you were tracking names.
Yeah, I can
names
do that.
And the numbers, I think.
It's been a little while.
Yeah, because we had some weirdness with trades where I think Blabber got drafted twice.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Or was it Whippo? I forget. It was a B name.
Oh dear. Okay. Anyways, pick 4 belongs to Team America 9.
Team America 9 is going to draft Inspired, as recent talks with rumor players have fallen down.
GM of America 9 is currently in tears. Thanks for the report, River.
Had to draft a European. Oh, and a report came out a little bit late. That seemed to have revealed this, but got beat to press by the team. All right, Barry. Team NA greater than EU. Who is your selection with the 5th overall pick?
Well, in true NA superiority, I got to go with a rock solid foundation of the team down in the bot lane. I got to go with Danny, my first pick.
Ooh.
Good pick.
All right. Team Niski.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a decision.
Pick Niski. No guts.
Niski getting imported out of the free agent.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna take Summit.
Aw, come on, you trolled me.
Can't pull Niski yet.
Summit, who will hopefully soon be in the real world in North America, proving that A-tiering him in this game has been a total joke.
I don't know.
I've seen,
only as good as
there
Dutch
seems to be a second person trying to get into the journalism game here. As somebody named Ogino is claiming that they have sources saying that GM Derp is planning to break into Hopium's office to steal Vulcan's contract. Now, this seems like more tabloid reporting to me, but I'll let the audience decide.
It's okay. The booby traps have already been deployed. We're ready for you.
All right. Team Little Critters is up next.
I am, and Rivered is quick and accurate with his reporting. I will be first picking Jojo Pian here.
Whoa.
It's a solid pick.
Getting aggressive on the NA talent. Okay. Team Less. Derp. Pick 8.
Well, I think there was the report that said I was picking numerous Americans, so I gotta pick noted American top laner Impact here. Someone please laugh.
All right.
That was pretty good.
Derp carrying on Andrea's legacy.
Or you did first pick Impact. It was requested.
Mazone for Team Great White North. Who are you going to pick up with your first selection?
Well, I was initially hoping to pick up a bunch of players with ice in their veins. You know, us fellow Canadians got to stick together. But that has quickly fallen through. So I'm going to go with Abadage.
See, our budgets being up a little bit this time is definitely helping the S-tier players find jobs. Which, when the budgets are down, it's those S-tier players who seem to get hit by it. Now, if you believe the rumor mill, there is a report out about who Team 100W is going to pick up next, but I'm going to allow CJ to say that and see whether or not it's true. A lot of reports coming out in the Twitch chat here if you're watching live. You know, just to add some extra flavor to the game.
Well, did have to think long and hard about this. Some of my picks did indeed get taken. But I'm just going to go with a solid first round pick with Bjergsen.
And before we swing into the second round of the draft here, let's just take stock of where we're at. We are going to be switching in the modified snake. We're going to be switching right to left. So CJ's going to have another pick in a moment here. But in our first 10 picks, what do we have? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 A tier players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 S tier players and 1 B tier. Now, if that's not a big budget version of the mock draft, then I don't know. I think this is getting pretty fascinating here. All right, CJ.
I think this is the first time I've seen Abadage taken in the first rotation, which is interesting.
Yeah, I believe so. People have sometimes in the past left mid lane for later, seeing it as, relatively like spending an early pick doesn't always get you the big lift. But now we're seeing 3 mid laners taken already. So I think that's a sign of a bit of a shift in perceptions right now. All right, CJ, you're on the clock.
With this one, I was thinking about it pretty much all first round, and I've done a lot of research on this player. I watched a lot of his games. Former 100 Thieves next player. I think I'm gonna pick Luger here.
So a carry core of Bjergsen and Luger. Interesting. Mazone, you're up. Very little happening on the trade market right now.
I'm wondering if I should spice things up here. Not sure if it's going to be a great strategy. And we're allowed to draft 2 players in the same position, right? To use as trade bait later on?
Yep.
If you think you can get a trade for them.
Yeah, otherwise you might get kind of in big trouble.
That would be rather awkward. Okay, I think. Let me just make sure he wasn't drafted already. No, I'll settle on Blabber.
He'll settle for Blabber.
I guess I'll take Blabber.
Crabber. Nobody? Wow, okay.
Okay, Derp, you're up next.
We are not comedians, we are drafters.
Chat, I'm actually looking to sell this spot if anyone's interested in moving up here. I'll trade this for a 3rd round pick even, if for the right price.
What is the right price for you?
I think it's pick order, correct? You're just selling pick order, not individual picks.
You can sell.
No, it's
you
can.
can?
Picks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is Ichigo speaking, right?
Yes, it is.
I would trade 13 for pick 27 and 125k.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, so Ichigo is paying 135,000. Sorry, 125,000.
Yeah, 125.
Yeah, 25.
To trade pick 27 for pick 13.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so it's my turn now, I guess.
Yep. Sure is. You have $1,592,500. Now this is a few rounds early, but apparently, oh no, it's not. It's not early anymore. Apparently, Team America 9 is in talks with an NA mid. Any thoughts, GM of Team America 9?
We don't acknowledge any of the rumors. I won't be picking a mid laner now, but I will be getting Ignar.
Oh. So, jungle support. Pretty good place to start in building a team. Now, Bright Light is up for Team Lil Critters.
All right. Look over the options here. I think with my pick, I am going to take Santorin.
All right, thinning out the jungle pool some more. We now, on the jungle list, we now have one more A-tier jungler, Xerxes, and then a deep pool of B tiers. So that's getting a little thinned out here. Caleb, Team Niski?
Yeah, I'll take Isla.
Oh, come on.
Hey, someone just wants to give me some money, I'll do it.
So that's Ayla, the new starting support for Team Liquid for now, or something. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see how that all plays out. And that puts us to pick 16, which belongs to Barry.
Well, the most recent River League was not so favorable. I am going to have to go against my greater judgment to secure my top side. I got to go with Bwipo.
Ooh. Bwipo, who is freshly committed to being a top laner, and will hopefully be allowed to do so for the entire year.
Hopefully we can bring peace between our regions.
Okay. Air traffic controllers. Who will be your second pick?
My second pick would be someone who has been showing promising growth.
Wait, it's my pick. I think. Okay.
Sorry. Nope.
I'm 17.
Oh,
you know what? It's because
disregard.
that's my mistake because I put Ignar up too high with the trade and just skipped over it visually.
Yeah,
Good catch, American 9.
Okay, so for the leaks, it seems that I'm lucky this is my pick because apparently we're going for the same player. I'm picking Abel, the American GOAT of mid lane.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Abel, a Blaze Olive.
Okay.
No, what?
There we go. Some more Canadian talent getting out there. Okay, now we go to Team Air Traffic Controllers, who hopefully has not had their plan messed up by that.
It's not messed up, only slightly delayed in holding in a holding pattern. I shall be accepting a top laner as my import slot, and I'll be taking Broken Blade.
Okay, so Broken Blade is not considered part of the player pool for this.
You do have to pick from the LCS player list.
Ah, okay. Well,
Yeah,
in
so
that
I should have
case-
clarified that. I have the EU players in here for people who want to use this to play an LEC version. But I should have clarified we're only using people who are considered part of the LCS talent pool.
No problem. Then
I
I'll
hope that
be,
doesn't throw you off too badly.
Only slightly. I'll be taking Huki as a support.
That's a good pick.
Before anything happens, I think when you move the players, it didn't work because I still have the same amount of money as before. Just
Yeah,
pointing
you're
that
right.
out.
Yeah, when I moved Ignar, it messed up the formula a bit. Let's do a little bit of undoing here. One moment. Minor technical difficulties. Okay, so I'm just going to copy Ignar. And then you went for Ablaze Olive. Now let's see if this worked, so I don't have to manually. That looks good. What would this add up to? 750, 1.6? Yeah, seems about right. If you want to verify the math on that, that would be helpful, but... I think we're good.
Yeah, it works out.
Okay. Back on track for Team Hopium. Neognostic finally getting a second pick after waiting a very long time.
Yes. I'm looking at the trends here, and I think we're going to pick up the first import in Hansama.
Ooh, that's a good pick.
And now back to the number one overall pick order. Waiting very patiently ever since grabbing closer with the first overall pick. Team Meech for LCS. Who would you like to select next?
It's a really tough one because a lot of the picks that I wanted are gone now, vanished.
Mm-hmm. That's something that happens with the early pick order. It's a trade-off, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Licorice.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Adding in that golden gamer.
By drafting Licorice, I just automatically get Aniro as my head coach, right?
Yeah, that's part of the contract, I think.
So we are now moving to round 3, which moves right to left again. And that means that CJ is back up. So far has Bjergsen and Luger, has $815,000 left for 4 players. And one import
I was
slot.
wondering if CJ wanted to surplus that real quick by trading a pick.
Anybody in the market?
Which pick are you looking at? If you're offering.
So your current pick right now, I would like to snipe. And in return, you may have pick 32. What price seems reasonable to you for that?
So remember, pick 32 will be in a
Pick
left
30.
to right. Well, so they're numbered, obviously, but you'd be moving down 11 slots.
I don't know if I want to move down that far.
Pick 29 is
I'll
also
do
on
it.
the table.
While this trade discussion is happening, we'll just, and you guys can carry these conversations on in chat as well, if you, in the background, if somebody else is talking out loud, by the way. But apparently, Team Great White North is negotiating with a Canadian top laner, but we'll have to see.
Okay. I'll do 32, but can you throw in 200k with that as well?
Looking for 200,000 to trade between picks 32 and 21.
Let me do some quick mental math here.
You know, the nice thing about mental math is that if you write it out in a spreadsheet instead, it doesn't have to be mental math. Or even in a notepad document. Or by hand.
So, I will take that deal.
All right.
Okay.
Works for me.
I will write it in the chat.
Yeah, and I'll start typing it out here just in case. So it's 200k.
Yes.
Okay, it's picks 32 and 21.
That's right.
So we're gonna move CJ to pick 32. We're gonna move Neognostic there. We're gonna take away 200k over here. And we're gonna add 200k over here. Now that's a a budget altering amount of money potentially for a team that didn't have a whole lot left. So right away, Neognostic is up. And let's see what they moved up 11 spots and spent 200k to get.
I would like to pick up from the rapidly vanishing top lane pool someday.
Top lane does get pretty thin pretty quickly, it seems. So there is the someday pick. That means we're going to jump up to pick 22, back in normal order, and Mazone is doing it for Great White North.
And for the people up north, I gotta go with the competition to someday, Tenacity.
Haha. The Canadian top laner. So we've got Abadage, Blabber, and Tenacity. I'd say that's a pretty good top side to set up a rookie with to succeed. I like it. Okay, Derp for Team Less. Who are you going to pick up?
I think I'm going to take, I believe the best, one of the only S tiers. I'm going to take FBI.
Wow. Can you believe FBI made it to the third round? So far, traded down to get 125k, still has 2 first picks of Impact and FBI. But how will that affect the budget? 2 S tiers. Team Little Critters, you are on the clock.
Yes, sir. Let's see.
Now, while you're thinking, it appears that we have a trade to announce. That'll be coming up in a moment.
I'll use the extra time to leak my move to River before.
You're not supposed to say it out loud. So Barry is paying 30,000 to C.E. Barnett to trade pick 26 for pick 25. Moving up 1 spot. We'll see what kind of difference that ends up making.
All right. I believe I have my pick.
Okay.
Actually, do I?
You guys keep me in my toes.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Revenge here.
All right. More top lane.
It is rapidly thinning.
Yeah, in the top lane we now have Huni, A tier. We've got Fake on Jenkins in B tier, and then you drop into the C tier range. you can maybe find some really good value there. You can say the game. There are plenty of players in this setup that are very easy to argue as undervalued. Look in those C tiers or even in the B tiers and say, that player shouldn't be down there. And if so, and if you believe that the community is going to agree with you and vote your team strong, then you should go for him. So, pick 25 now belongs to Barry.
That would be correct. And I'm going to go after a captain for my team who's been doing it for a long time. Going to partner with Danny in the bot lane. I got to go with Aframu.
See, I know I saw the report in Twitch chat, but that really seemed like he was setting up for a core JJ pick. Gotta be honest. But Aframu.
That would have been pretty good, though.
Also good for that role, for sure. Okay, so now, having moved down to pick 26, $30,000 in the pocket. What do we got, Team Niski?
It's been leaked. Envy is locked in.
Can be. Far be it from me to tell these GMs how to run their businesses, but it really does seem like some of them are playing with fire with the amount they talk to journalists and how much they're going to get sniped if the other GMs are paying attention. Pick 27
if
was
I could ever
traded.
make up my mind.
Pick 27 was traded a while ago. Derp traded down for this pick. Sent away a second rounder, but got a bunch of money. We're now at pick 27 for Derp, so who are you going to fill in?
I'm going to take another B tier jungler since Kenvi just went off. I'm going to take contracts.
Impact, contracts, and FBI. This is getting somewhere. Low budget left. Pick 28 goes all the way over to Harupio for team air traffic controllers.
All right, then. I'm going to take a man who deserves another chance, who doesn't deserve to be shoved off into the backwoods and left alone with no food or water. I will be taking Niski.
Once again,
listen,
a lead-in that could have gone in a couple different directions.
Listen here.
This is a gamble.
I thought she was going Dardoch, to be honest.
There are several players that could have been leading into. Okay. Oh, apparently Gyauza did spend bits to vote for your branding and give you money. And they want their bits back. Okay. Neognostic, pick 29.
This is where things begin to get a little bit more complicated. I think I'm going to go with someone who is very solid, but unfortunately couldn't make it this year, and pick up Jensen in the mid lane.
And there's one of the other people we could have been talking about last round.
I just realized there's 6 rounds.
Gotta get a sub.
Do I have to pick a sub?
You do need to have 6 players. This was part of the briefing at the beginning.
That's a rough
and
one.
It's in the written rules. I know. You don't get full marks if you didn't read the entire assignment. Sorry.
God. Snipe from me.
All right, one more pick for the third round. And then I've got we've got something going on in the Discord that I think I want to share with the audience here who may not be aware of it for the fun. Okay, to clarify the comment earlier, Gauza had voted with bits for CE Barnett and Team Niski, and now wants to move that money over to the team that actually has Niski. But I think it's too late. I think money spent is money spent. Both real and imaginary.
Hello. The commissioner is here to say that has been rejected.
Thank you, Commish.
Of course. No, I've got a fake mustache to put back on. I will be around if needed.
Always good when we have conflict to have the official mock draft commissioner step in and let us know the state of things. A Red Kobold, you're still up with your last pick, the last pick around 3. Hello?
Yeah, it's really, I had to pivot my whole draft because I have to get a 6th player now. So I'm just thinking.
Okay, so working hard. I can confirm that the commissioner and the insider reporter are different people. That would be a huge conflict of interest. We've got a little bit of a scoop on what might be going on with pick 32. Seems that Xerxes is on the table. Anything? We're going for a real hard pivot here.
Sorry. All right, I am taking Poom.
Poom. I know of some people that will make very happy. Now you're going to get a little bit of time to think for your next pick because before we advance further, and let's have a little bit of fun with this. So we have had a community member here working on, a consulting firm working to help extend the branding and marketing for our teams and has generated some logos. So let's pull up the first logo here. Now, which team is this for? Do we have the maker of the logos in the voice call?
Yes, I am right here.
Great. Would you like to explain yourself?
Yes. So this one is for Team America 9. As you can see, it has the A and the 9 right next to it. It has the red, white, and blue. And then you have the, I don't know if you can tell, but you have the upside down McDonald's M.
The upside down McDonald's M. Perfect.
This was the first one I made, and it was by far the highest effort one.
All right. Next up, we have...
I am very touched by the drawings of the fellow worker.
All right. So this is just for Team Hopium. It's a bottle of hopium gas. That's literally it. Basically,
Okay.
That's an H for hopium.
Got it.
And it's purple because purple's a cool color.
This looks like a kebab.
Yeah, this is for Team Niski.
Team Niski, and it's a kebab. Okay, this one seems self-explanatory.
Yeah. You have the bell peppers, the onion, the orange pepper, the chicken. Alright, so this one's little critters. You have 2 little ladybugs at the bottom. And then you have the
Infinity Edge.
Yeah, you have the Infinity Edge in the top corner.
Very good. Now we've got...
This one was modern logo design levels of creativity. So this one...
I see the 4.
Was Meech for LCS. There's the M, and then there's the 4 that's highlighted in red, and then the LCS. It was either this, or I just tried to draw Meech's face. I couldn't find a picture of Meech, so this is
All right. We gotten creative with our directions here.
Yes, this next one I at least decided to make the E and U kind of a thing. Like it's like kind of like sideways.
We get the idea, I think. Yeah.
I was gonna try and make the A look like a less than, or like a less than sign, but it was not quite working out. So it was looking really weird.
A little tricky to execute.
Oh wait, the arrow is backwards.
The arrow is backwards.
We made it. It's okay. We'll move on. We'll move on.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
This next one, I decided to just make the emoji that Peter Dunn always uses. Hold on. I don't know why I decided to make it, but I just figured it would be fun. It's the like stuck out tongue emoji.
Okay, now you have the next two. You definitely need to do some explaining.
Okay, so this next one is these next two are the last two I designed. So
And they were at the end of your workday.
This is the team less than sign.
Oh, team less. Sign. Okay, I get it. Team less, yeah.
Team less.
And then we've
got
got...
a whole... I could have drawn that, or maybe I could have drawn like Miss B, Double Up, Jensen, like all those. Maybe I could have done something like that.
Could have worked if you had time, yeah.
And the last one is just, I rotated Team Less's one at 90 degrees, and this is for Team Great White North. It's supposed to be like a mountain.
Oh. Good
so
stuff.
I repurposed, and we streamlined the process of logo making. All logos will now be just a rotated version of the Team Less logo from now on.
Well, thank you very much for doing that. It added some good flavor here.
All right. Good luck on the draft, the rest of the draft, everyone, and hopefully this gave you time if you thought that you could like consolidate some players, or if you thought you didn't need a sixth player to get some stuff in order. So I will be on maybe for another draft sometime.
All right. Well, let's get back on the clock here with a red kobold with pick 31.
Ichigo, are you there?
Are you going to try to negotiate a trade?
I am. I replied to him in Discord, but he didn't respond. Maybe he has ads turned off.
I'm sorry. The trade. Yeah, sure.
All right, I'll do it for 75K.
Okay, that's fine with me.
Awesome.
Okay, so what do we have exactly?
31 for 34 and 75K.
So Ichigo pays 75K to.
And then we're pick swapping 30 and 34.
To trade pick. You mean 31?
Yeah, that one.
Just to be precise here. So Ichigo, you're on the clock then. And let me make sure I don't forget to add this money.
Okay, so I asked a fellow member of the chat to roll a dice for my decision making, and he got a 6. So I got the 6th option on the list, which is Huni. I think I can afford him and have a 6-man team, so I will go for that.
Let's see if you can pull it off. You got to fit 2 more players. Yeah, you've got enough budget for 2 more players. Now pick 32 is all the way over here. Pick 32. CJ.
I think I will also be choosing from this this draining top lane pool. I think I'm gonna go with Jenkins here.
Ooh.
He showed a lot of promise on TL. I like the way he plays. He's really aggressive, and I think he's gonna pop off this year.
Now I have a question for you. I had heard reports that you had planned to draft Xerxes in this role. Were those just made up, fabricated information, or what is your relationship with the journalism scene? Is really what I'm getting at.
They were there were rumors out there. I thought about it, but it could have been a bait. You never know. It could have been see somebody bite, take some of their own salary off for somebody I possibly didn't want.
So anyways, Harupia, you're up next with pick 33. I love the evolving meta of this game.
My pick is to prove that, so fun fact, in air traffic control, you don't have to retire until you hit over 50 plus. So that means legally speaking, their brains are good to go for a while. So I believe hard work can prove that they can get better, and it's not just youngings. So I'm going to pick Darshan, who proved in Academy he is working hard.
I think that's an underrated pickup right there. I like it.
Really a sleeper pick. That's actually a really good pick.
Did you intentionally craft that monologue for any other purpose?
Custom made.
You guys just keep playing for a minute.
Ironically, even though I didn't make a logo for you, I already made one. You probably benefited the most doing it right at that monologue in the time.
It's your mic's a little unclear sometimes, Archon, but a red kobold is back. Now has that pick 34 they traded down to.
Had to trade to make the budget work, you know. Small market team out here. We got to make our ends meet as a GM.
I follow.
Those are the hard decisions you have to make in order to form the team you want to build, you know. Wanted to take this player earlier, but had to get that free money that was waiting on the table for me. I'm going to go with Palafox.
All right. Now, if I'm following, we're over to pick 35, which belongs to Barry. Currently has Whippo, Danny Aframu. Needs jungle and mid.
Yep, and I'm going to continue to play down to my bot lane. Got a solid top laner. I feel like I can put him on an island up there, and he can perform pretty well. So I'm gonna go with the jungler. I'm gonna pick up Svenskeren.
All right. So yeah, the meta of this draft is pretty interesting. All right, C.E. Barnett is back.
Fudge.
Thinking. Muted in Discord, thinking.
Oh wait, I said fudge.
He
Oh.
did in fact do fudge.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. I heard a little sound, but I didn't know what it was.
It just said fudge and then muted. So
we operate with much more decorum than that.
Yeah.
Insufficient. All right, Team Lil Critters with pick 37.
All right. I have been a bit back and forth about the direction I wanted to go. It was leaked at the very beginning of the stream that I was thinking about drafting a D-tier player to start. Unfortunately, plans have updated, and I do not believe that will be happening. For this pick, I will be picking up Mickey X.
Oh, Mickey X, the European free agent, who in reality may or may not ever be willing to come to the LCS, but is in this game and is quite an interesting choice here. So we've got Revenge, Centauran, Jojo Pian, Mickey X needing a bot laner with a good amount of money. All right, Derp for Team Les.
Who do I want? I think I will take Isles. Is he available? Is he there?
Sure is.
Cool. I'll take Isles.
Now tell me about Isles. What's the thought process here?
I think he's better than all the other supports available except Core JJ, who's asking too much money.
All right. I know we've got some trade talk going on, but it doesn't seem like we've got a deal in place here. If I'm interpreting right, there's a little bit of a hang-up on the current deal, and that it may not happen.
Yeah,
I don't think it affects the current pick anyways. but a zone so you can pick in the meantime.
Okay, so I am looking to enter in the Matrix. The Matrix, that is, and have become best friends with Neo.
See, I was actually able to follow that one. Yeah, and as it turns out, this deal was reported before it was announced, but I didn't notice. Well, that's why if you watch this live and follow Twitch chat, you get that bonus experience. All right, so some trades have fallen through, which means CJ, you're up. You've got 2 picks in a row here. We're on the turn.
If anybody hasn't seen it, 40 and 41 are both on the trade block for the right amount of cash. I'm looking to move back, preferably in the 5th round, but for something enticing, I might move back into the 6th for it. If anybody's got any,
You see our balances. We're all broke.
I can offer you $10,000.
We're all straight
Do you
broke.
want? Do you want $35,000 for it?
I'll give you 50.
Let me think about this one. Let me do some head math real quick.
I will say I see one person among us sitting on a hefty pile of cash still.
I'm willing to sell 48 for 40,000.
But why have 48 for 40 when you can have 46 for 50?
Okay.
If we don't get any movement on the trade market here, we're gonna have to move forward.
Okay. I'll go ahead and select. I'm gonna go ahead and select Jose Diodo here.
All right.
Solid pick.
The import jungler. That's 2 import slots used, and you still need. So you've got Jenkins, Jose Diodo, Bjergsen, and Luger. You still need a support, and it'll have to be a domestic support unless you're planning to pick a backup bot or jungle.
All right. Okay. So who was offering 75? Somebody said 75 for 41.
I offered 50. I don't remember. 50. It said 75.
Nah, never mind. Okay.
I mean, if you want 75, I can do 75.
Ooh. Movement.
Okay. What pick do you have?
46.
I'll do that. I'll do 75 and pick 46 or 41.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so Barry is paying 75,000.
Yep.
And it's 46 for 41.
Yep.
There we go. And that means that Barry is on the clock.
All right. This was a guy that I wanted to pick to be my sub, but I wanted to take him off the board because I know there are a few teams that are still in need of a mid laner. I'm going to go with Jizuke.
Oh, so many players who did not get a real-world LCS team are having a much better time in our version of the world.
He still only has sub at a
True.
Saved him a spot on the bench, kept it warm.
Exactly.
Great White North.
not sure how many of you people are familiar with the NHL, but us here in Montreal, we support the Montreal Canadiens, and one of our favorite chants we like to say in person is "Ole, ole, ole, ole," and that will be my pick for this round.
They're gonna
You
make
clearly
it back
live
there,
in the
Phil.
English-speaking part of Montreal.
I can speak both.
Oh yeah, no, I assume you can, but you're not even throwing the accent on the. You're saying Montreal Canadiens.
The Canadiens à Montréal.
Yeah, you're really targeting it to your audience. Okay, Derp for Team Less. As a bilingual English French speaker, how do you feel about Takoi? By the way.
Well, historically, his leader has always suggested that we should separate from Canada. So
I'm not sure you picked up what I was going for there. We went a different
he's
direction.
French, right? He's from France.
Yeah, no. So I get annoyed by pronunciations sometimes.
I see.
You know, I don't have a good French accent. I can't really say tout cuit properly, but you know, I can try. Anyways.
I think it's one of the easier French
Yeah, you can
names.
you can go tout cuit, right? Tout cuit.
Yeah, Tukui.
Yeah, it's like Tukuyi.
Tukui.
Yeah.
There you go. But it is a little tricky if, you know, French pronunciations can throw you off.
If you've never even looked it up before, yeah, it's gonna be hard.
Tout cuit. Derp, you got a pick for us?
I do. I've been messaging Rivers agents for the whole time, sending him
desist.
memes the entire time. He won't return my calls anymore. But he is correct here. I did say the word Saligo, and that's because I will be signing him to my team.
What a fascinating draft. So, you are operating within your budget here. You definitely only had budget for a C tier. So I can respect that, definitely. Impact, contracts, Soligo, FBI, ILC. You know, that's a pretty interesting team, and it's all NA. Little Critters, pick 44.
All right. I will be making use of my second import slot and get some hands for my bot lane. I'm going to pick up Berserker.
Ah. There we go. With enough budget for a B tier in the sub roll. All right, Team Niski.
I'm gonna take tactical.
Straight to business. It was leaked already anyways. Might as well just make it happen.
Yep.
River's getting confused. Mickey X is on Little Critters, not Team Niski.
So pick 46 was traded over to Team 100 Dubs. So CJ, what do you think? Got lots of money.
Yeah, I do. Think
Not S tier money.
no.
A on the horizon, though.
Yeah, I only have not much to pick from with support. Think I'm gonna go with.
We've got Shenyi B
go
tier,
with-
Destiny, Diamond.
I think I'm gonna go with Destiny here.
Tell me why
Let's
Destiny
pray.
catches your eye compared to the alternatives.
Well, I do like Immortals. Immortals team. I've never been a big fan of Diamond's play. Biofrost was a consideration, but I think his time has passed. Destiny, on the other hand, he He shows promise. He has a veteran ADC with him in the bot lane. And overall, Immortals has a interesting team. Definitely thought they would have a better showing in the first week of lock-in, but I definitely think they're top 5 in the LCS in my opinion. Can go higher if the season goes better. I definitely think they'll make playoffs in spring. So I was gonna. Destiny's definitely a safe pick here.
Sure. Okay, Ichigo, pick 47. Sorry?
It appears some member of the staff have leaked the contacts we have made, but it apparently has been decided we will pick up Arrow as our starting ADC.
Ooh, dropping down into C tier. With Double Lift, Sven, King, Kaori Lost, all available in a higher tier. Gonna save some money.
Well, I only have money for that team.
It's true. But you know. Now, air traffic controllers to potentially round out your starting roster. So far, we've got Darshan, Spica, Niski, Huhi, so we're presumably looking for a bot laner. Have enough budget for a couple of B tiers.
Yes, but no. I could take a B tier, but then I won't be able to afford too much on top of that. But no, I'm actually going to take my 6-man right now and invest in Fire.
Uh-huh. There we go. Tell me about Fire.
So I remember watching a few of his matches earlier in the Proving Ground scene where he was just completely stomping a lot of opponents that I feel with enough good coaching, he could probably on par with the growing skills that just like a Blaze Olive. Given a chance, he could punch with the rest.
Sure. Okay. Team Hopium.
So, rounding out our import, we wanted to go with a player who I personally believe has been somewhat unfairly maligned by certain members of the community for the team that he chose to join, and that is River. I think River is going to show up and be very impressive.
Mock draft journalist Rivered has been selected as the jungler for Team Hopium.
What are you going to do when I have the commissioner on my team?
Rivered's not the commissioner.
Oh, no, my bad. No, of course
not. A red kobold has 2 picks in a row here.
All right, rounding out the team, we're just going to go double AD.
Okay.
First time, we're going to go with Prismal.
Where are you? There you are. And with a D tier budget remaining,
I'm going to request the commissioner allow me to draft Meech out of amateur.
Okay, you can draft Meech.
At least someone stuck to their team name.
But I'm docking you $10,000.
I'll take it.
There. I believe the commissioner will support me in this.
I really preferred the way you worded it before.
I know, but I thought it was too mean.
It's not drafting off the list. It's drafting Meech specifically that got him fined.
I put it in there. I'm like, that's not. I know it's funny, but that's not. Okay. Team Hopium now gets to finish the organization here.
move that is totally not pandering to anybody, we're going to bring up Tony Top to learn underneath someday and get a grasp on the LCS.
I can hear the happy voice right now inside my head. When one of the people you could be pandering to, wakes up tomorrow and discovers. Air traffic controllers, pick 53. Now, it had been your sixth man before. Presumably, we're picking up a starter here.
Yes, I'll be taking my ADC. What is lost can be found.
Well delivered. The Rivered report on this said, after looking for him all draft, Team ATC is looking to pick up Lost, was trying to accomplish this all draft, but simply couldn't find him. Excuse me. So, good stuff. It's not good if an air traffic controller is losing things. All right, Team America 9.
I'll be picking Gion as my sixth man to learn under Arrow, I guess.
Sorry, that cut out a touch for me. Gio? No.
Gion, the ADC.
Yeon.
Yeah, sorry. That's a tough one for me, sir. Got him. So I always say yawn. I think most people pronounce it yawn, not yeon. But that's just one of those things. Yeah, so tell me what you like about him. Is this something where you've seen specific things about his play, like from Academy or during like in-houses or something?
Oh yeah, I watched a lot of TL Academy last year. I was pretty hyped up about Ayla, and I thought he and Ayla paired like one of the better bot lanes. But I still think Ayla carried a lot, but Gion is still learning. So
yeah, definitely. Okay, Barry, your final pick. You've got B tier budget.
Yep, River leaked this a little while ago, but we're going to go with the Golden Boy. He plays amazing global champions, really support my carry bot lane. We're going to go with DeMonte.
Ah. It's Tanner time.
It is Tanner time for the starting role.
So, let this be noted for the audience here. DeMonte is the starter and Jizuke is the sub on this team.
That's correct.
I respect it.
Jizuke's not going to play Twisted
It's
Fate
Tanner
Galio every
time.
game. Come on, it's Tanner time. We all know it.
Also, Kiana's back in meta. He can bust that baby out.
True. This is a sleeper pick. Come on.
Okay, Team Niski, final selection.
Yeah, I'm taking Busio.
Where am I looking here?
B tier support.
Yep.
He also could be a mid laner.
We're not going down that road.
Listen, Oriana support. It's coming in.
Little Critters, finish it off.
All right. For my final pick, I'm going to go with... You know what? I'm gonna go with another 80 carry player that I just kind of like. I'm gonna go with Wixie.
Okay. What do you like about Wixie?
I've followed Wixie for a little bit. It's back when he got on C9 Amateur. I was actually really happy when 100 Thieves Academy picked him up, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the few Academy players who I've kind of like followed along, and I've liked what I've seen out of him. And I think he'll actually do well in the kind of meta that's been forming recently, given his like Jinx play and things. So I'm excited to see how he develops.
they'll probably play through mid and bot quite a bit. So, okay, team less final selection.
All right, I'd like to make a request to the commissioner that I get the fine for drafting off the list be reduced to 7.5.
Depends on the player. This is
If
not
it's
a general
niche,
rule.
again, you have a problem.
All right, I watched 2 games of the recent amateur tournament, and I was impressed by him in both of those games. So I want to pick up noted mid laner Cinnamon Bread, University of California, Irvine.
You know what? I'm okay with that.
Let's go.
I am so okay with it that I'm only going to penalize you 7,500. There we go. Great White North, you have $530,000. What are you going to do with them?
So every big organization needs a big streamer, right? So I'm thinking
Here it comes.
we'll go with Double Lift. With the potential of him emerging out of a cloud of smoke to replace someone on their LCS starting roster. Of course, we'll all know about it beforehand because he's very open about it during his streams, but I'd like to see that drama on my team.
Did you bet channel points on Double Lift?
I did not.
Oh.
Were you aware that there was a prediction running on this on whether or not Double Lift would get drafted? Some of you may have been aware.
I swear.
Didn't Double Lift is the reason why Ola went back to Korea?
We all believe in second chances in this team. A great night, White North. Very polite here.
All right, CJ.
You better be really nice to him.
Finish us off. $340,000.
While we're on the topic of drama, I've got a pretty dramatic person with this next pick. I wouldn't say dramatic, but causes a lot of drama. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up not Darshan, Dardoch.
Yeah, I followed that one too.
So with Dardoch, just I don't know. He always manages to find a way onto his team. You know, however many teams he's been kicked off of. You know, I don't doubt his ability to find one, especially that crisis point in between spring and summer when every team is looking for somebody. So I definitely think Dardoch they'll make it to playoffs. We might have to make a breaking point video at the end of the season, but you know, we made playoffs.
No, that's just content, baby.
Good for the content.
Free content.
The
Okay.
idea of a Dardoch Bjergsen mid-jungle feels like it's going to end in a murder.
Our draft is complete. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you each 30 seconds, and I'm actually going to time it because I want this to move along a little bit. 30 seconds to explain to the audience why they should pick you as having won this draft. Now, the audience gets to pick their definition of what it means to have won the draft. Is it the strongest team? Is it the best performance relative to budget? Is it something else you make up? This has been a very branding and marketing-oriented draft, as evidenced by a streamer being selected for the second last pick. So, define success in your own way. Target your pitch to your audience based on what you think they're going to vote for. We're going to go pick order 1 through 10. So, Red Kobold, you're up first. Are you ready?
Count me down. Count me in.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. My team has the absolute strongest top side in this entire group. There is no way that any other top side will ever compete ever with Closer Licorice. They will gap literally every team. Palafox is going to spam the heck out of Twisted Fate. And then on top of that, I have the ability to get raw talent with Meech. So you know that not only am I looking at the now, but I am investing in the future.
Well timed. Neognostic, you're up next. Are you ready?
Wonderful. Yes, I am.
Okay. 3, 2, 1,
So-
go.
It's time for NA. This is Team Hopium because this is the team that is going to get NA not just 2 worlds, but through worlds. We're not gunning for semifinals, we're taking the cup. So every single player on this roster has proven that they are competent enough to appear on a world stage. Someday has been on the world stage and performed enough. Jensen.
Time up.
Very co-
That's it. That's all you got. Jensen
Wonderful.
exists.
We're hyping Sunday.
All right.
Save your day.
Harupia, are you good? You ready?
Yeah, sure, why not?
The rest of you, get ready before it's your turn or you might be caught. All right. Marks, get set, go.
Air traffic controllers are known to control chaos, and who can control chaos better than chaos himself in human form? Spica. Spica will lead this team into glory, and nothing but glory. Flags will be made in my team's honor, proving that not only can we conquer the NALCS, but every other region that dares to come into our way. LTC forever.
Did all that in 19 seconds, by the way.
I talk real fast, sorry.
No, that was good.
Well, I'm convinced.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Each you go for Team America 9. You ready for your 30 seconds of glory?
Yes, sir.
All
All right.
right. 3, 2,
So
1,
my
go.
So my team features the best mid jungle duo in the LCS. Just saying, my team will win it all back to back, and then proceed to go 3-3 in groups as the NA tradition is. I will follow the rule of TL of spending big and not getting out of groups proudly.
All right. Up next would be Barry for NA greater than EU. You ready for your shot?
Yes, sir.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so Team NA greater than EU really encompasses every flavor of League of Legends fame. We've got a really strong bot lane duo with Danny and Afromoon. Great, likable personalities like Whippo. It's obviously Tanner time, so you got to take that into consideration. The team can have multiple identities with Sub-Drizuka coming off the bench to have an EU mid laner to carry the team as well, if we want to play more towards the mid lane. Plus, having an EU player on the bench really just subjugates EU to that lower level and truly proving that NA is greater than EU.
Well done. Fits in right under the cut there on the time. Okay, Team Niski. Are you ready to justify to us why people should vote for you when you don't have Niski?
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
I have the youngest team in the LCS. There's a certain YouTube channel that has been in a YouTube comments debate about development over like buying talent, and I think with the second lowest budget, I did a good job of prioritizing high upside talent on the cheap.
Good stuff. If there's any YouTube content creator who's getting involved in debates and YouTube comments, they should smarten up. Team Little Critters.
All right.
Here we go.
So here's what's going to happen. In the mid lane, we have generational talent, as said by everyone in Oracle's Elixir Discord, Jojo Pian. We have Mechanical God, who even Gamma UC feared Berserker. We have Santorian Mickey X to help them get where they need to be, and we've got a Rock in the top lane with Revenge. We may be the little critters, but we've got good mechanics and big brains, and everyone else in the league better get ready to catch these hands.
Well done. Okay. Team Les. 3 teams to go here. Okay. Marks, get set. Go.
All right, so I've got 2 things to say here. I have a team with players like Impact and Isles built to enable an attack damage carry in a very strong bot lane meta. I also have FBI, who is noted for being the best player in LCS by a good amount. So it's just math from that point. It's pretty easy wins, and we will go to Worlds or something. I don't know. How do people end this?
End with a bang. Okay.
Bang.
Team Great White North, you ready to defend your draft?
I am.
3, 2, 1, go.
So I'm just going to say here that not only do I have a team that can compete for the top of the LCS with solid picks like Blabber, Abadage, Tenacity, Neo, Ole, I will make sure that no crabs go unlooked. And if we get enough subs, I'll take this team to the LEC, win there. With even more subs, I'll take this team, go to the LCK and win there. And then with enough subs, I'll go to Worlds and go 3-3.
All right, lofty goals. And a whole progression to go through. Finally, CJ for Team 100 Ws.
So I have Bjergsen surrounded by a bunch of young players. You just think about that. You have one of the best NA mids or import mids to ever play in NA, surrounded by a bunch of young talent that is very, very promising, including Luger, who was, by the way, the MVP of TCL in 2020. So that's big promising right there. It's a lot of promise with Jenkins, who's also shown that he can go toe to toe with the top laners in the league all the time, and Jose Diodo, who's just needed a chance.
Time. All right. Cool. So here's what we're gonna get in here as I correct this typo that I just noticed. I have got a straw poll. I'm gonna drop the link into Twitch chat. And I want you guys who are watching to vote for who you think won the mock draft. We're going to leave this up for about 5 minutes. While that happens, we'll take the opportunity to thank everyone for playing. It's a ton of fun, and of course, the process of doing it is the main fun of doing it. Thank you to Rivered for the intrepid reporting. It's not your fault that people are now beginning to try to weaponize the media. You're the victim here. Thank you to our commissioner, Eddie, an entirely different person, for stepping in and helping with some of the decision-making and validation of what was going on. Thank you to everyone who subscribed to the Twitch channel or to the Patreon or to the YouTube channel and just to kind of support the content. And now let's talk a little bit about what actually happened in this draft, because this was a very interesting one. We had a whole bunch of players get picked up who aren't in the LCS this year. Let's see, who are some of the examples? Svenskeren, Mickey X, Niski, or, LCS or a Pro League. I mean, Double Lift. I find that very fascinating. Jizuke. And then, maybe the biggest elephant in the room, justify yourselves on how CoreJJ could go undrafted in the highest budget draft we may have ever run. Anybody?
I originally, even though I had one of the lower budgets, I was initially planning to draft CoreJJ. When I gave River the rumor that I might be starting a D tier player, I was looking for combinations of CoreJJ and a D tier player I thought could still work going that far down. But the way the draft ended up shaping out in like the first 3 rounds caused me to pivot to a team that I thought was more well-rounded across the board.
Sure.
As opposed to having CoreJJ at S tier, best in the league support, and then it probably would have been Wixie. Like, I probably would have done Wixie CoreJJ.
Mm-hmm.
I was considering it, but yeah, about 3rd round in the draft, I thought I had to pivot just based on what everyone had drafted thus far.
Anybody else?
In my defense, I don't think it's an uncommon opinion to say that Vulcan and CoreJJ have been battling for the position of best support in the league for a little while now. And seeing Vulcan at A tier with CoreJJ up in S, I decided that first picking Vulcan was getting the best value I could.
I think that's defensible.
It's true.
My defense is I had a very small budget. I wanted to use my big picks for positions that I felt were more impactful in the current meta.
I actually had a reasonable opportunity to pick CoreJJ, and I chose FBI instead as my S tier because I felt that FBI in a B or C tier support was going to be stronger than Core JJ in a B or C tier AD carry. I guess I'm like one of the two people in the whole Oracle's Elixir Discord that thinks Violet is very good. So I did consider Violet and Core JJ, but
what about Xerxes, Power of Evil, Sven, some other A tier players? Did anybody consider picking those guys up, or was it just never really on the table?
I seriously considered picking up Xerxes. But
oh no, that was just a bait. I wanted somebody to pick up Xerxes just to waste their money.
I can
waste their money.
But I kind of moved away from him because I wanted to have Jizuke to sit on my bench for the reason I mentioned in my spiel.
Those are all imports, and I took Closer as my first pick, so I already had my import slot. One of them sealed up, and my other import slot was going to be my AD carry. I was hoping for Luger, and then was thinking about Sven, but due to just, again, I'm a low budget team, so I went for a high budget top laner, and that kind of pushed out all of the other costly imports out of my draft range.
We'll say
How many of you made a prediction in the double lift prediction?
I voted no.
No. I did not notice it until double lift had been drafted.
I didn't think someone would meme it.
Same.
I didn't think people would have enough money in the 6th round to meme an A tier pick, but
I was gifted with a large budget.
There's some dissension in the ranks over this.
I do think that this year will prove that River being below Xerxes is going to change pretty quick.
Could be.
I think River has gotten some flack, which I don't fully understand given his performance on the world stage, but we'll see.
I think there is some consideration to the fact that Immortals is currently not doing very well in lock-in, and so Xerxes and Power of Evil are probably less likely to get taken. I don't really rate either of them particularly highly,
but it could be influencing perceptions.
Definitely could change some opinions.
All right, well, we are going to wrap up the poll here, and we've got 2 leaders. In second place is Team Air Traffic Controllers. So very well done, with a lineup of Darshan, Spica, Niski, Lost, and Huhi with 5 fires of backup. I'd say you're riding a wave of strong sentiment on Darshan right now. Of course, Spica is possibly the most popular, or one of the most popular players, at least in the LCS right now. And I would venture to guess that you won at least a couple of votes with your delivery of your selections and with your monologue at the end.
I'd like to thank everyone. Also, second is the best. Thank you so much.
That's right. First is the worst, after all. But first place did go to Team Hopium with a lineup of Someday or Tony Top with River, Jensen, Hansama Vulcan. The budget definitely helped out here, but I think very solid lineup overall. Any way to wrap up this win?
I'm just gonna say that if this roster actually happened, it would be glorious, and live evil.
Nice.
You do have one Evil Geniuses player, so cool. Well, this was a lot of fun. Thanks everyone for hanging out, and thanks for watching and getting involved. The mock drafting kind of spreadsheet for this is available if you check the pins on the Oracle's Elixir Discord in the mock draft channel. So there are people who like to do this sometimes just, without an audience and all that, whether I'm running it or whether someone else is running it. So feel free to jump in the Discord and chat with people. Play one on your own. And otherwise, I'll be back to stream another one next month because we've hit good enough threshold combined between the Patreon, which is at patreon.com/oracleselixir, and also YouTube channel memberships. That I made that a goal that I would run one of these once a month. So we'll do another one in February and see how it shifts that much more again, as more games are played and as perceptions shift, and whether maybe I need to shift some player tiers to kind of rebalance the game. But we'll wrap it up there, and let everyone go. I know some of you have been up late for this, and appreciate especially the East Coasters bearing with the time zone that I work in. So thank you very much, everyone.